Don't call us mounts. Nobody mounts a Senchrat. Riders shut up and follow where we lead, or they land whiskers first in the mud. If you want a mount, go buy a dumb animal. You're new, yes? Here's some advice. Don't ask a Senchrat for permission to ride bareback. It is weirder for us than it is for you.
You'd think she was possessed or something. I try to be a gentle orc and help a lady in need, and what does it get me? A lecture on Akaviri artifacts and a magical talking voice. There's a Khajiit digging through the rubble of an old Akaviri tomb just up the trail here. She kept muttering to herself, so I thought she might need help. But after talking to her, I suspect she's just crazed.
Did the spirit send you to help Kisaravi? What did she say? My apologies. Kisaravi hoped you heard the spirit too. The spirit protects Akaviri relics in the Tomb of the Serpents. She wants Kisaravi to share their secrets with the world, but the tomb is too dangerous. She won't let me leave without them. Spirit may not be correct. Entity, a goddess perhaps. The one who protects the tomb while wrapping her arms around Kisaravi's mind. Will you retrieve the Akaviri relics? Otherwise their secrets will be trapped here forever, along with Kisaravi. Thank you, stranger. Kisaravi hopes you will be the one to pass the spirit's test and retrieve the Akaviri relics. She's sure you won't end up like the others. Years ago, Khajiit allowed displaced Akaviri to bury their dead in Khajiiti tombs. So many Akaviri were buried here that they renamed it Tomb of the Serpents. The Akaviri placed armor and relics alongside their dead. The spirit watches over all. Curiosity, arrogance, greed. Kisaravi wanted to unlock the Akaviri's secrets, to use their knowledge and steal their power, to sell their relics to the highest bidder. Selfish desires brought Kisaravi here, but the spirit's message made her stay. Some say their ancestors were eaten by a race of vampiric serpents. Others say they were merely captured. They are said to be resistant to poison and fierce in battle. Some say they even enslaved dragons. Their relics will tell us what is true. I never saw her, but I felt her. Her words opened something within me, a sense of purpose, belonging, love. I don't remember her words, but I can't forget her message. When I share the relics with the world, you will understand. Everyone will. Thank you, stranger. Kisaravi hopes you will be the one to pass the spirit's test and retrieve the Akaviri relics. She's sure you won't end up like the others.
Perhaps you are the one to deliver our message. Perhaps you will die like the rest. If you survive, you will know the message. Kill the intruder. Only the strong can carry our message. Lay down your sword, outsider. You already belong to the Akaviri.
got the Akaviri relics. Did the spirit speak to you? Ah, the Akaviri spirit has blessed you. Kisaravi can tell. How else would you have succeeded where Kisaravi has failed? Please accept this gift and the spirit's blessings. Kisaravi knew that she would need someone brave enough to enter the tomb, strong enough to pass the spirit's test, and wise enough to accept her protection and never question her voice. Kisaravi knew because the spirit told her. The spirit wants Kisaravi to share the Akaviri relics with Tamriel. They possess a magic we can't understand, a magic that will spread her influence and protect us all. The spirit will soon live in everyone's minds, and it will all be thanks to you. For some, it is the key to unlocking ancient secrets and lost magic. For others, it is a reminder of why some things are better left unknown. The spirit has spent years watching the dead in this tomb, stranger. She's ready to see more.
I always knew them Palangairs were up to no good. Well done.
Excuse me. If I may be so bold, you match the description I was given? I have a message for you, if you're willing to accept it. More like a summons, really. Comes from Abner Tharn, who once advised Emperor Varen of Cyrodiil. He wants to see you in Riverhold in northern Elsweyr. Said it involves the Khajiit Defense Force and a rage of dragons, if you can believe it.
Ever the voice
Claiming
of reason,
Abnorthon
speaker.
will not end
Here
the
comes
dragon
someone who can help us
infestation,
now.
Chimera.
You must be here about my summons. Good, good. I was just telling Lord Gareshri and Chimera that someone would answer my call. Since you're here, I presume you will wholeheartedly agree to help us save Elsweyr from a rage of dragons? So much better than flock or herd, don't you think? The Khajiit Defense Force isn't prepared to deal with a threat as big as dragons, especially since they were fighting to liberate Rimmon when the huge beasts arrived. Stay focused. We'll deal with that later. Right now, we must assist the Defense Force. Rendezvous with us at their command post. On your way, however, I have another task for you. I detected a series of power surges that I want you to investigate. I was formulating a spell to track the dragons when I noticed several surges of arcane energy not far from here. They reminded me of an old acquaintance. Has a way with portals. If it is him, I want you to secure his help against the dragons. Hard to say with certainty, but I don't believe so. They remind me of Sir Cadwell, who somehow opens portals with a power of similar intensity. Check the locations I marked on your map before you make your way to the defense camp. Never heard of Cadwell? Don't tell him that. Cadwell may be the oldest soul-shriven in Cold Harbor. For all his eccentricities, he's certainly the most sane. Fancies himself a knight of old. If you find him, secure his help against the dragons. What do they teach young people these days? You've never heard of the great Abner Tharn, advisor to emperors and battle mage supreme? No? Well, take my word for it. I'm a very important personage. You should feel honored to meet me. Lord Gareshri is the Speaker of the Main and the commander of the Northern Elsweyr Defense Force. His aide, Chimera, serves as both a diplomat and a spy, though she would never call herself that. If you want to know more, feel free to ask them.
Another outsider comes to Elsweyr, as if we did not have enough problems between Abnorthon and the dragons. Ah, do not mind me. Great beasts rampaging through my homeland tends to put me in a foul mood. I am Chimera. I assist the Speaker of the Main and serve as his agent. With both the usurper queen and the dragons ravaging northern Elsweyr, there is much for me to do. Too much, I fear. But I will persevere. What can I tell you that you cannot guess? That these fearsome creatures of legend have returned to threaten Elsweyr? That much is obvious. Damn it. This is all Abnorthon's fault. Dark moons, take him! That arrogant Imperial! For an advisor to emperors and a renowned battle mage, he demonstrates a disturbing lack of caution. It was Abnorthon who entered the halls of Colossus and released the dragons. He says that was not his intention, but... what do my beliefs matter? Dragons have come to Elsweyr, destroying everything I hold dear. As the Moon Singers say, the path to oblivion is paved in good intentions. So, damn Abnorthon. Damn him for unleashing this terror upon us.
You're responding to Abnorthon's letter. one of the promising adventurers. I hope you can help us. But where are my manners? Welcome to Riverhold and the province of northern Elsweyr, also known as Anequina. I am the Speaker of the Main, a position in which I've served faithfully for many years. I represent our spiritual leader, the Main. In addition, I command the Northern Elsweyr Defense Force during this time of trouble. We're dealing with more than just dragons, unfortunately. A few years ago, Abnor Tharn's half-sister Euraxia conquered Rimmon and parts of northern Elsweyr. We recently liberated Riverhold and were about to do the same for Rimmon when the dragons appeared. It's almost as if they came to her aid. Do what Abnor Tharn asked. Just as he once served as advisor to emperors, he has agreed to help me formulate strategies and tactics for use against the dragons. It is the least he can do, since he had a hand in setting the horrid beasts loose.
Greetings, Walker. Have you a moment to speak? A crowded marketplace, a chance meeting, unexpected, unannounced, and perhaps just the thing this one needs to solve a most curious investigation. Mystic Thunderboots, at your service. An abduction, to be precise. No ransom, no demands, no obvious suspects or motives. Just a heartbroken father and a missing young lady. But that is why Mystic was hired, yes? He steps in when all other justice fails. Correct. This one searches for Xynthia, daughter of Ishu. However, Mystic's inquiries have led to nothing but dead ends. And with the young lady's safety on the line, the sooner this investigation is solved, the better. A chance meeting turned fated partnership. Fortuitous for this one, yes? You should speak to Ishu first. See if he has any new information for us. His house is just south of the marketplace. Can't miss it. Mystic Thunderboots is a Khajiit of action. Well, he does not wish to merely boast of his prowess. This one aims to prove such skill. Just as soon as we have a little more to go on, of course. This one will confess, while Mystic is confident in his skills of investigation, he struggles with the more alarming situations his line of work often entails. Such as when large people threaten him with very sharp daggers. Not this investigation, thank the moons. Well, not yet. That is where your expertise comes along, yes? Your bravery. This one's cunning, and a few good leads are all we need to solve this mystery. It is a good name, no? Mystic Thunderboots. When scoundrels hear the footsteps of his boots, they will quake in fear. Oh, well, perhaps you are right. Not very subtle, is it? He is a humble Khajiit of moderate wealth. Seems to keep to himself. No enemies, no debts. No reason why he would be targeted. Yet just a few days ago, his daughter, Xynthia, was taken in the dead of night. Most strange, no? If Mystic did not know better, he would say that it was an intimidation tactic. Perhaps even an act of revenge against Ishu. But who would wish this cruelty against such a kind Khajiit? They outright dismissed Ishu's claim, believing that the young lady has merely run away. A most vexing call, truth be told. From all that Ishu has told this one, Cynthia is a most sweet Jacagit, not one to make her father worry.
Victory is never assured in battle. But this one cannot help but worry that the odds are unfavorably stacked against us. After all, what hope have we against dragons? Still, we cannot allow Euraxia's tyranny to continue. We must fight.
Are you here about this one, Cynthia? Has she been found? Yes, of course. Cynthia was taken in the dead of night. This one has received no ransom, yet he fears the worst. She is a very beautiful Jacagit, you see. Ishu believes that the captors may mean to sell her. Cynthia has a long, glossy coat, soft as the richest of silks. Her eyes are bright yellow, like the honeyed moons. Ah, and she always wears a gold necklace. No suspects, no, but someone who may have spotted something? There is a wood elf who tends to stay up well into the night, always singing and dancing, that one. If anyone saw something unusual the night Cynthia was taken, it might be her. The wood elf's name is Mel? Yes, that's it. Mel the Musical, she always calls herself. You can usually find her toward the north end of town near the Sand Gardens. Ishu will pray for your swift success. To help find this one's darling Cynthia, Ishu will answer any question you ask. Cynthia is a willful child. A tad spoiled, this one admits. Ishu dotes on her. The town guard, they do not understand. They say, oh, perhaps she has wandered off. They say, perhaps she is lost. Such foolishness. How can they be so uncaring? Thank you, thank you. May bright moons light your path. Ishu will prepare a feast for Cynthia's return, yes? Perhaps some fish. Ah, yes, fish is her favorite. This one can already hear her contented purrs. Mel arrived in Riverhold a few seasons ago. Makes a living begging for gold as she sings and dances. She has woken up Ishu more than once banging that drum of hers. Still, we chat occasionally. She is kind, if not a bit eccentric. Mel does not have a home in the traditional sense, so you will often find her sleeping in the stables and bathing in the public fountains. But who is Ishu to judge, eh? We all have our oddities.
What do you know? A customer. Salutations. Mel the Musical at your service. Are you here for a performance? Ishu, the Khajiit with all the cats? That old coot is sweet as honey jagger, but a bit off if you ask me. Shame about his daughter, though. No one should have to go through that. If you're looking for trouble, Tajir is your girl. I've seen her with all sorts of indecent folk lately. Always shifty eyes on those ones, I tell you. She tends to spend a lot of time behind the stables lately, if you catch my drift. Very good, then. And hey, if you're looking for some entertainment for your next soiree, make sure to seek me out. You won't regret it. She's a gambler with a lot of friends in a lot of places. And you know, who am I to judge? Business is business, after all. But as of late, she just seems to be getting more and more suspicious. In fact, there's been a lot of that in Riverhold. Suspicious activity. People who I ain't ever seen before, going about town at all hours. I mean, I may stay up well past most people's bedtime, but I'm a musician, comes with the territory. And these new folks aren't bards, that's for sure.
Inuma once lived in Star Haven, a beautiful adeptorium with many wonderful adepts. But a dragon came and attacked our home, leaving much to rebuild and no comfort to be found. There was nothing left for this one in Star Haven. His quarters were destroyed along with all of his possessions. Inuma has nothing to his name but his faith. Still, he could have stayed to help rebuild, that is true. Too many sad memories. This one could not bear to stay, not after so much of his home was destroyed and so many of his friends were lost. Still, he will do what he can to help those in Riverhold.
Saw you heading this way. Find anything of interest? Oh, the stables, Developed a sudden interest in horsemanship, Walker? Oh, looks to be a coat. A napping badger, eh? Sounds familiar. Ah, yes! The sleeping badger is a rock formation, just south of Riverhold. But this bit about the sweet trip, that music doesn't understand. Music will mark it on your map, Walker. Feel free to lead the way. And perhaps this is a good time to mention that this one is not so skilled in violent situations, should trouble find us. But that is where your expertise comes in handy, yes?
Eurexia must be stopped at all costs.
A bit. Riverhold, a town of broken dreams and broken people, where the common folk face injustice at every turn. That is why Mystic Thunderboots has come, of course, to protect the unprotected.
Shh! Stay down. Stay low in the grass. We've got ruddy fangs up on the hillside, and probably more down on the other side of the cliff. The ruddy fangs are the biggest bandit pride this side of the scar, and probably south of the scar, too. This bunch has been preying on refugees fleeing the dragons, as if they haven't lost enough. Shook me down, too, bastards. I'm not hiding, I'm waiting. Thought I might sneak into camp at an opportune moment and get back what's mine. But I've been out here for nearly a day now. I should probably just get back to Riverhold before I pass out. You do that? It's a backpack, Imperial Legion make. It was my husband's. It's just some personal items, things he had before there were damn dragons. Sorry, I'm tired and hungry. I should go. Find me at the inn in Riverhold, and thanks. A handful of gold. I don't care about that. I just want my husband's things. The dragons already took his life. I'll be damned if these thieving scum take his memory. Finally bringing my husband home. As much of him as there was. I had to travel all the way to Rimmen. That Tharn witch wouldn't even return his remains to the Legion. Queen? Tuh, she's a traitor. She brought him to Elsweyr, led an army here to restore order for the Empire. She just wanted a kingdom of her own. He died protecting people who'd spit on his grave because of her, if he had one. I'll never forgive Euraxia Tharn for that.
Apologies. This one is fine. Oh dear. Music needs to stop doing that. That necklace must belong to Cynthia. Skooma. These vagrants must be smugglers. Come, let us speak away from this place. A missing daughter, a hidden note, and now a band of skooma smugglers. This investigation becomes messier with every step we take. This one is unsure, though it is possible Issue may be hiding something. Still, our priority should be to investigate the gambler who wrote that note. Tajiri was her name, yes? That does ring a bell or two. If Tajiri is a gambler, it is likely we can find her at the local tavern. Mizik will head there at once and see what he can dig up. Meet this one at the Banished Regrets Inn.
No, Azazi. Never touch a Daedric monster, especially a dead one.
Don't be such a nervous netch. The dead can't hurt us. But where do you think it came from?
It stinks of Cold Harbor. Perhaps one of the Usurper Queen's lackeys summoned it, yes?
Don't touch the dead thing, Theduna tells me. Like I don't know how to handle a Daedric corpse. I wonder what killed it, though. Maybe it ran afoul of a dragon.
What a stench! That's the stink of Cold Harbor, Walker. How such a fearsome and dangerous creature ended up dead beneath our favorite rocky outcropping, this one does not wish to speculate. Only an extremely powerful mage could summon such a monster.
I saw you, traveler. Why do all outsiders insist on acting suspiciously? I watched you go from location to location, just like the man with the pot on his head. Are you one of the soldiers intent on digging up every plot of land? Or are you simply a deviant who enjoys skulking and slinking through the wilderness? Do not play innocent with me, stranger. You must be working with that pale, gaunt fool with the ridiculous mustache. Why else would you be visiting the same places that he did? Unless... Are you an agent of the Usurper Queen? Euraxia, the hated Imperial who conquered Rimmon and falsely claimed to be its queen. Do not feign ignorance, outsider. I had just about enough of that when I talked to the man with the pot on his head. You sound as confused as he was. Kept talking to his pet lizard bird like he expected it to answer. The last I saw, he headed east. I suppose you'll find him in that direction, and south of Riverhold. Just stop skulking around.
You and I need to speak, now! I must admit, you and Thunderboots make quite the charming pair. And watching you both play at being investigator, why, it's been sleek entertainment, truly. But now you tread upon sands that are best left undisturbed. Take it as a friendly warning. I hear that you seek Ishu's daughter, yes? I find that very funny. After all, everyone in Riverhold knows that she left town many years ago. Then Ishu has become senile in his old age. I speak truthfully. He had one daughter, and she is gone. Has been gone for many years. Tell this to your partner, and drop your investigation. Now.
Who is he? Kunzari, Kunzari. Sing it proud, sing it strong. Brave and sly, really shy. He never steers you wrong.
Hey, you came. Did the Ruddy Fang still have my things? This means a lot, really. I don't have much left to remember him by. The things in this pack and the condolences of the Legion paymaster every month when I collect his due. Take the gold. I don't need it. You've more than earned it. I didn't really expect anyone to help a Legion widow out here. The Khajiit don't have much love for the Empire these days. Besides, they've got enough of their own problems. Dragons and usurpers and undead. This whole world's coming apart. I'm going to make a small memorial shrine over my hearth, if I still have a hearth. I won't know until there's a break in the fighting long enough that I can get home. I barely avoided a battle between the Dominion and the Covenant on the way here.
You look as good as moon sugar. Careful, or Tajiri might lick you.
bright moon look over us today, Walker. Tajiri has just settled down for a round of gambling. While music distracts her, you can sneak into her home and search for another clue. It's just a bit north of the tavern. Forgive this one if he's skeptical. Even if this stranger spoke truly, why then would Issue hire music? Why would Tajiri have written that note? Why would we find a gold necklace in the smuggler's camp? Then perhaps this stranger simply wishes to confuse us. Throw us off the scent. Besides, we cannot stop now. Not when an innocent young lady may still be at risk. Let us investigate Tajiri before she retires for the night.
Why, hello, sweet meat. Care to play a game with old Tajiri?
Of course. Though this one will admit he is not very skillful.
Mizahen once studied with the moon singers of Raul-Ka, but telling stories didn't suit him. This one is much too literal for such work as that.
Tajiri, is that you? We need more groceries for the house. There's barely anything to eat. And would it kill you to tidy up our room once in a while? The upstairs is a mess.
This one hopes you have found something of interest, Walker. Mizik cannot afford to keep Tajiri distracted any longer. And he means that most literally. Blue serpents? 4-pointed paint? If Mizik had to guess, this poem describes drop-off locations for illicit goods. Smugglers often hide them in plain sight. First a sleeping badger, now a blue serpent. must represent another landmark. That's it! The river is often busy with trade, a perfect place to smuggle goods. Let us search along the river and see if we find any barrels or crates with markings. Hopefully we'll find something that will lead us to Xynthia. Music will admit this case is heading in a rather unexpected direction, which is a bit worrisome if he's being honest. It is strange, isn't it? With an operation as intricate as this, it seems odd that these smugglers would target a Khajiit of such limited wealth. This one agrees, but let us first check these smuggler caches. The note said that the goods were leaving town today, yes? That could include Xynthia. Mizik sees a painted mark ahead. Somerset wine, eh? Not illegal, but incredibly taxed. Mizik has a feeling this bottle didn't find its way to Riverhold through virtuous means. That painted mark... Oh! Did Mark we seek? Mizik is all right. That painted mark seems curious, no? A very pretty scarf for smugglers to wear, yes? Perhaps it belongs to Xynthia. That mark has 4 points, like the... Oh dear. Apologies. This one is fine. This barrel smells sweet, but also rotten. What could it be? Dark moons. They're smuggling spoiled moon sugar. Very unsafe for anyone to eat. Speak to Ishu and see what he knows of these smugglers. Then let us meet back at the tavern. We have much to discuss.
Yes, any news of this one, Xynthia? Smuggler camps? Dark moons? Yes, the necklace and scarf belong to Xynthia. Have they Have the smugglers sold her? By June and Joe, please say it isn't so. No, of course not. Ishu has only lived a good, honest life. Please, you must find this one's Jakajit. She is so young and innocent and probably terrified without her papa. Whatever will Ishu do if his Cynthia is harmed? May bright moons watch over you. Oh, really? Well, Ishu supposes his family has grown over the years. But how could this one not seek their companionship? Their little faces, their tiny paws. His darlings love him completely, demanding little but affection and food. And belly rubs. But of course, mostly. She and Medwick don't always get along, but Medwick is older and doesn't always like to play or be teased. And just between us, Tak can be a bit of a Jekuzit sometimes. I think she's jealous.
I've little time for talk.
I warned you, thunder brutes. And so the other thorn in my paw arrives. I told you, did I not? First time was a warning. Now it is a threat. You both leave town. No more investigations. No more sticking your snouts where they don't belong. Collect your things and leave. That again? I told you Ishu's daughter left Riverhold years ago. He's just a delusional old Khajiit caught up in a fantasy. And for this you tried to ruin my little operation? Of all the things! Who I am does not matter. What I can do to you, on the other hand, should be of immediate concern. You either leave Riverhold on your own, or you leave in pieces. Your choice.
So it appears that your strange friend is Rideza the rogue. Good to know. Let us just say that her reputation precedes her. Well, threats to our life aside, it seems that we finally have a perpetrator. Now we just need to follow her. We are investigators, are we not? You must search for a trail. With any luck, she'll lead you straight to Ishu's daughter. Meanwhile, Mizik will alert the proper authorities.
Those were fresh super claws! I didn't even see who ran into me.
There! Rideza must have stepped on the jelly from the sugar claws. You must follow her trail while this one alerts the guards.
claws come out! Kill this muskars! Curse your meddling!
Rid of the road. Caught at last.
Did you find my daughter? Where is she?
Here! Your daughter is right here, you old fool!
Rideza! You're the one who stole Cynthia? Oh, this one's poor Jakashit.
Ha! Feeling a little jealous. To go so far as to steal your father's pet.
Ishu is so pleased that you were able to find Cynthia. Finally, this one's family can be reunited. What do you mean? Ishu gave you every detail about his precious Cynthia that he could think of. Was there something that made you think his daughter was a Khajiit? Well, no matter. Cynthia is safe and Mizik will have his payment. Rideza has become just as greedy and cruel as her mother. How can Ishu accept such a daughter? Especially one who has already caused him to suffer. Rideza will face the justice of Riverhold's guards, as she deserves. If she wants to make peace, Ishu will make peace. After all, a quiet life for him and his family is all this one asked for. If Rideza wishes to be a part of that, she may be, but it is up to her.
You think that Rideza the Rogue is finished? It's only a matter of time before I'm back on the streets. And when that happens, you best watch your back. When I came back to Riverhold, I went to see my fool of a father. It's been years since Mother and I left, and I was feeling sentimental, I suppose. Stupidly sentimental. He didn't even recognize me. Of the cat? No, I just wanted to make him suffer. He's always been obsessed with his damn pets. That's why Mother left him, you know. He's so caught up in his little family that he didn't have time for us. For me. Maybe you're right. Just another delinquent with papa problems. Isn't that just the way?
You know, I wasn't too sure about Thunderboots when he first came to town. Thought he would just cause more trouble than he solved. But thanks to the both of you, we can finally put Rideza the Rogue behind bars. No, not too long. But it never takes much time for these kind of operations to wreak havoc on towns like Riverhold. I'm just glad we could nip it in the bud. Rideza herself, however, has been troubling Elsweyr for years now. Moldy moon sugar by itself will do little more than make a Khajiit ill. The trouble is when that same moon sugar is distilled into tainted skooma. It's an unfortunately common practice, given that moldy moon sugar is so cheap. Most likely. It's a vile thing to sell, though. Tainted skooma causes some of the most horrific reactions I've ever seen. Days of vivid nightmares and awful pain, often followed by an agonizing death. A truly horrible way to go.
Well, it seems that our investigation has come to a successful close. Though not quite in a way that Mizik was expecting. In hindsight, it makes sense. When you were told that Ishu's daughter left town years ago, Ridesa must have been speaking of herself. Still, to have been chasing Issu's pet this whole time. This is true. Because of our dedication, Riverhold no longer has to deal with these vile smugglers. And let us hope it stays that way, yes? Mizik just needs to collect our reward. Why don't we meet at the Banished Regrets? Drinks are on Mizik! Just as soon as he is paid, of course. Family reunited, a smuggling ring destroyed, and the gratitude of all of Riverhold. Not a bad start to a partnership, yes? Mizik was even able to secure a hefty bonus, thanks to the generosity of Captain Kahiri. Of course. Your share as promised. After all, Mizik would never have been able to solve this investigation without your aid. Pleasure working with you, Walker. Do not be a stranger, yes? A safe town, a happy client, and an investigation expertly solved. And a five-claw partnership, if Mizik does say so himself. What more could this one ask for? After such a successful investigation, Mizik is hopeful that more clients will come forth. We live in turbulent times, Walker. Dragons, tyrants, necromancy. There is no end to Elsweyr's suffering as of late, and yet so much is overlooked. Those in power have priorities, and the petty problems of the common folk, they tend to be on the very bottom of this list. That is why we must look after each other. If Mizik does not offer his help, who will? Of course, but first and foremost, it is Mizik's passion. That is why this one takes the name Thunderboots. If he cannot work in the name of justice, then he will not work at all. This he swears. Mizik's investigations take him many places, so it is hard to call one town home. But he's enjoyed his time in the Riverhold. He has a comfortable tavern room and a steady supply of clients. Well, a steadier supply of clients. Honestly? Just the one. A bard's flute was stolen while he was drinking in the tavern. He was very certain another musician had stolen it out of jealousy. Quickly, it turned out to be the innkeeper who stole the flute. This bard could not play in tune to save his life, and it was driving away business. So, Mizik suggested that the bard seek another tavern. A happy solution for everyone involved. After such a successful investigation, music is hope.
When the 16 kingdoms were only 16 tribes, a hero ambled forth, all tall and tough and wise. How sleek he is, how fragrant, a 5-claw, no, a 10. He wrestles giants just for fun, and charges into Senchi's den. Sing it loud, sing it clear. Fighter, lover, poet, thief. He's one Khajiit to cheer. Who is he? Kunzari, Kunzari. Sing it proud, sing it strong. Brave and sly, really shy. He never steers you wrong. No dungeon cage can hold him, no lock can bar his way. Some stories claim that he's a god, or so they say. He dragged the light from dawn and Jode down to the growing fields, and now we have moon sugar and all the goody deeds.
Only the finest wares here.
Uncanny. It looks just like the lovely place I dreamed of. Must be why my portals led me here. Eventually. Hello. Have you come to pay your respects to this poor fellow, too? It was the strangest thing. I was looking at this very gravestone in a dream. So here I came, and there it is, all solid and everything. Important? I have no idea. I suppose it must be. I saw it in a dream after all. Or was it a vision? I get those two confused. Anyway, I felt a sort of pull and stepped through a door, and then pish-posh, on as a bantam gras, and here I am. Tharn, you say, the grumpy battle mage. How is the old boy? The surges were probably just me. My portal took a few tries before we honed in on this exact location. Now, why don't you take a look at the gravestone and see what you make of it, Well, it took a few tries to find the exact spot I saw in my dream. A number of frightfully rude lads and lasses occupied the first location I visited, demanded my surrender, if you can imagine such a thing. Naturally, I gave them the old heave-ho. Foul smelling, I'll have you know, that was my lunch. Can't believe I lost it. And if by bantam gua you mean my faithful steed, Honor, well, he's always getting into my foodstuffs. Has the appetite of a mammoth and the cunning of a fox, that one. Dispatch? Why would I do such a terrible thing? I adore those adorable pudge buckets. Alas, Skrook was standing a little too close when I opened my portal. Poor thing fell in and took a nasty spill. When the neck bone snaps, it makes an awful sound. Were the words the same for you? Sometimes written language likes to confuse me. Words change and switch places. Very annoying. Anyway, the gravestone mentions the betrayer. Sounds like a dastardly chap. Wonder if I ever met him. I don't have the slightest idea. The words inscribed upon it conjure up all kinds of questions, though. Who is this betrayer? Whom did he betray? Why did they bury only his head? And where did they put the rest of the poor fellow? I don't have a clue. Dragons? I haven't battled a dragon since, I can't remember, but I'm certain I fought one or two in my day. I was a gallant knight, after all. Of course I'll help. I'll just need to do a little more digging into this dream thing first. Didn't we go over this? I'm a chivalrous knight. Oh, you mean the pale and dashing complexion? Well, I'm a soul shriven, a denizen of lovely Cold Harbor. I'm the oldest of my kind and a sort of role model, at least for those who haven't gone feral. It's called a helmet, I'll have you know, the proper headgear for a daring knight, not at all as pedestrian as the foppery you're adorned with. Sorry, old chap, your attire is perfectly adequate. Suits you to a tittle, really does.
Get down. I'll deal with this. Oh, now you show up. Left me to deal with a dragon all by myself. It's a good thing I'm Abner Tharn and not, well, some lesser mage. I discouraged it, but not before it laid waste to most of the camp. We arrived to find the outpost being overrun by undead. Then the dragon attacked. I did what I could. I fear it wasn't enough. What about the power surges? Did you learn anything? The betrayer? There's a betrayer mentioned in the legends of Kunzari. It seems those stories continue to hound me. No matter. We can deal with that later. Right now, I want to know about Cadwell. Has he agreed to lend us his support? That doesn't surprise me. Cadwell and Strange go together like hot bread and butter. I need to recover my strength. Driving off that dragon took a lot out of me. Why don't you go help Chimera while I keep watch in case the great beast returns? Kunzari, hero of the Merethic era. Most of the legends are unbelievable, though the Khajiiti moon singers guard the secret history. Their tales led me to the halls of Colossus. But let's save this for a less dangerous time. Tell me about Cadwell.
Damn us for arriving too late. I did not expect to find our militia under assault by a horde of undead. And then the dragon. Oh, it tangles the tail, Walker, it truly does. The militia was already depleted from the fight to liberate Riverhold, but we were determined to press on toward Rimen. Between the undead and the dragon, though, we can barely hold this portion of the outpost. Retreat is not an option. Not yet. Our resistance to Euraxia's rule requires more than just soldiers. There are intelligence reports, safe house locations, lists of supporters, documents we cannot afford to lose. Search the ruined camp and locate the documents, Walker. They are vital to our efforts to free Rimen from Euraxia's rule. And if her forces acquire them, those who help us will be exposed. Recover the documents from mail sacks in the camp and get them to Captain Nalado. Then meet us to the south.
If you're so fascinated by the dead, why don't you join them? This one doesn't know you, but at least you aren't a walking corpse. This one must ask, why are you here? Right, moons! This one thought these were lost forever. You saved many lives at great risk to your own walker. You have Nalado's respect. This one will guard these documents with her life. That was one of Euryxia, the usurper queen's pet necromancer. His undead devastated our troops, so this one took pleasure in ending his existence. Now, Nalado must return to Riverhold and consult with Garashri. We must find a way to go on. Euryxia's chief necromancer, Zumag Fum, has been with her for some time, but our intelligence suggests his followers have only recently rallied to her side. Find Abnortharn and Carmira. Tell them to meet us in Riverhold.
I've spotted dragons circling in the distance from time to time, but it doesn't look like the winged monster that attacked the camp will return today. Was your hunt successful? Did you recover the documents that Chimera sought? I must join them there. The Khajiiti forces have been decimated by this attack. It will take every strategy I can devise to help Gareshri prevent the collapse of his militia. The appearance of so many undead, though, that concerns me. Yes, I read the reports. Zumog Fum and his necromancers working for my despicable half-sister. Such magic leaves behind a miasma of stench and decay. It leads to the mountains to the west, but I can't pinpoint an exact location. Good idea. Dragons are bad enough, but undead tend to go on without end. Better to deal with them now, before Euryxia's power becomes more than we can contain. In such a direct manner? Yes, as far as we know. It could have been coincidence, but the attack felt designed to hit us when it would do the most damage. I wanted to send Chimera with you to find the source, but I have no idea where she's gone. Find the source of this army of undead, and if you see Chimera, send her back to Riverhold. She's as reckless as she is capable, which is a dangerous combination. I'll make my way back as well. After all, Gareshri would be lost without me. In case you haven't noticed, we two don't always see eye to eye. She can be impetuous and obstinate, truth be told. Chimera gathered a handful of soldiers and took off to the west. If you run into her, send her back to Riverhold.
to hunt the hunter, Sarazi. We quarry, no glory. You have something to say, dull claws. Let's make it quick. You don't get muscles like these by standing around chewing the fat with outsiders. What, did you just wander up here like a lost mountain goat? This is Predator Mesa, the Hunter's Highland. Really? Nothing? Zisvo. Hunters come here to test their claws against savage beasts. A trial of strength and cunning. But mostly strength. Ha! Compared to vigorous Sarazi, you are a dry twig. This calls for a contest. Hunting beasts is one thing. Hunting hunters, though, that is a real test. 3 savage gadget hunt any person who enters the mesa. Whoever kills them all first, wins. Sarazi will give you a head start. This is sporting, yes? You'll see 3 prowling gadget on the mesa. Unless they see you first. Ha! There's a nesting griffin up there also. Quillmane. If you really want to impress me, kill him too. Having second thoughts already? Ha! It's not too late to slink away. In the face of these muscles and good looks, no one would blame you. Bah! That's the problem with you outsiders. No sense of humor. A joke! Except the part about the muscles and the good looks. That part is solemn truth. 3 hunters camp on the mesa. Zahalar, Kuzo, and Tahuda. Killers, all. Yes, indeed. Beasts, people, it's all the same on Predator Mesa. Anything with a pulse is fair game. These 3 live on the mesa year-round, hunting animals and each other. Now we hunt them all. Who am I? I'm Sarazi, strongest, swiftest, and slickest Khajiit hunter in northern Elsweyr. Huh! Sarazi is still cementing his reputation. Give it time. I will tell you what my uncle told me. Long ago, a tribe of hunters settled here on the mesa and built a great temple to the hungry cat, Hersin. But their love of chasing and bloodshed drove them to hunt each other to death. Savage beasts started migrating here, settling around the temple. Eventually, the temple fell apart, and the wilderness took the whole mesa back. Something about this place brings out the hunter in every Khajiit. Like sugar and raw meat, yes?
to me? Too easy. Fresh skin.
take you!
Ha! Come to your senses, eh? Don't worry, Sarazi won't tell anyone that you ran away. Predator Mesa is not for everyone. No. Watch a true hunter Wait, is that blood on your hands? Where did all this blood come from? Kra! I never should have given you that head start. Now what will Sarazi hunt? Birds and chipmunks? Well, a wager is a wager, yes? Here, spend it on some decent food, Walker. Bulging muscles and a shiny coat start at the dinner table. Farewell.
You'd better be worth my time.
I did not expect to see you in this desolate place, Walker. Did Captain Nalado send you? Or have you come to join us as we hunt the dragon that killed so many of our warriors? Then our missions coincide. We can work together to destroy the undead and slay the dragon. It will be glorious. When we finish with the hunting and the slaying, we can report our success to Lord Gareshri. I do not take orders from that old battle mage. Besides, the blood of Khajiiti warriors cries for vengeance. To disregard that cry, that is not a shame I can bear. No, I must do this. I must strike back and show my people that hope survives. The worthy life is full of risk, Walker. I assumed you knew that, given what you do. I will tell you a secret, though. Before my parents died, they gave me a pendant. As long as I wear it, Jode watches over me and provides his protection. To Jode, yes, but also to my family and heritage. I suppose you could call it an heirloom. It helps me in my role as agent for Lord Gareshri, and that is all I will say about it. Now, let us go inside and find the necromancer and the dragon. With me! Stay close! We will hunt these necromancers down and end this dragon. The path splits here. We will go right. Walker, you stay left. Moons guide us.
awaits, Five Claw! Destroy the necromancer!
No more excuses. No more delays. Double your output or your reanimated body will march at the head of Euraxia's forces.
Might work. Flesh from your bones! A cage of bones for your soul. We did it! The necromancer has fallen!
Little insects. You dare challenge Mulamnir?
Dragonfire, move!
Pathetic creatures. Little morsel. Mulamnir would talk to you. Look upon Mulamnir in despair, morsel. You have no chance against me, no chance at all. But Mulamnir can be merciful. Come, let us talk. Mulamnir wants you to understand the challenge before you. Our puppet, Euraxia, commands a legion of soldiers, an army of necromancers, and a horde of undead. Add my dragon brothers, and the hopelessness of your cause becomes obvious. You and Abnathon are insignificant, but even an infinitesimal flea can irritate after it crawls beneath the scales. I offer you one last chance to survive. If you and the battle mage leave Elsweyr, my brothers and I will not hunt you down. Then you will die. But not before we slaughter your friends and set fire to Elsweyr. Once we reduce this land to so much ash, only then will I tear you apart. So promises Mulamnir, whose claws have dealt 1,000 deaths. Leave Elsweyr, little morsel. Tell the battle mage, if I see you again, you will die.
Five Claw, are you all right? I heard what the dragon said. Perhaps my confidence was a bit misplaced. That creature was much bigger than it appeared when it flew over the camp. I never jump without first knowing where my feet will land. Also, I have very sharp claws. We lost so many today. The dragon, that Mulamnir, it has much to answer for. We defeated the necromancer and shut down one of their undead foundries. We need you and Tarn, despite my dislike of the man. But what the dragon intimated about Euraxia, it called her its puppet. I fear the dragons control the Rimmen throne now. Yes, you must do that. I will join you after I take care of the remains of my soldiers. They died bravely and deserve to receive the proper sacraments. Go to Riverhold. I will see you there.
Watch your step in the stitches. You'll want to find another place to rest your feet, stranger. These stitches are about to burst. It won't be much longer before the whole place unravels, as it were. There's a new Khajiit in charge, Kazda, and he enjoys throwing his weight around. Between this one and you, most in the stitches find Kazda's leadership lacking, but none will stand up to him. Though this one heard rumors Tasnasi is back. No friend of Kazda's, this one can tell you. She's recruiting for a job, or so the rumors say. This one doubts she'll have much luck convincing someone local to make an enemy of Kazda. But someone passing through. Last I heard, Tasnasi was camped on the north rim of the Scar, but this one doubts she'll stick around for long. The moment Kazda catches wind of her, he'll have her throat slit. It's the closest thing to a settlement out here. Imagine a riverhold on the edge of a cliff, painted with rum and horse dung. Then invite every outlaw, bandit, and exile to live there. That's the stitches. You didn't hear this from me, but he's a thug who thinks he's a king. Sits in Merville Keep, counting coin and letting his thugs run the stitches into the ground. Well, deeper into the ground. A thief who got run out of town not long after Kazda took over. He's the only one worth robbing in the stitches, so my gold's on her job involving his ill-gotten gains. Gutsy to cross Kazda, but he already wants her dead. What she got to lose?